Remy was a horse from a kill pen, dark days behind, bright future ahead. With the cowboy by her side, she'll ride into the sunset, feeling so alive. Hooves pounding on the dusty trail, each step forward tells a tale of resilience, love, and trust. Remy knows she must, to show the world her worth. In the arms of her cowboy, she found her way, believed in her potential, come what may. Riding strong, heart so pure, making memories that will endure. Remy and her cowboy, a bond so tied together, they'll conquer any plight. Whispers of the wind, a comforting song. Remy knows she truly belongs. From a dark past she did ascend to a future with no end, with the spirit free. Through the trials and tribulations, Remy found her salvation. Riding strong, heart so pure, making memories that will endure. Remy and her cowboy, a bond so tied together, they'll conquer any plight. Riding strong, heart so pure, making memories that will endure. Remy and her cowboy, a bond so tied together, they'll conquer any plight.
Okay, so we are wrapping up with Devan and Remy. This will be our last video in the series, and the trailer is here. You're taking her home.
Taking her home.
How do you feel?
Very good about it. We're really excited to get her home and open that door and start that experience in the next journey. So it'll be fun. I can't wait.
It's been almost exactly a year to the date since you got this horse.
Correct.
You were telling me about that.
Uh-huh.
And so for where she is at and how you got her, so tell us a little bit of the story. Where did you find her? How did you get this horse?
So I found her on Facebook on a kill pin site called Kaufman. I saw her one day and then I flicked through, and then I went back to her and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna do it. I've been wanting to do this for a while. So I called the guy and they said she was already bought. So I was like, well, can I give you an extra $100? And they're like, sure. And I'm like, oh, I just probably got played. But yes, so then she was mine. She came to me after 4 weeks of quarantine. We let her settle in, and then, you know, that's when about 3 months in is when I started experiencing more of her troubles and the biting. And then I found you. And I emailed your wife in the middle of the night and I was like, please help me. And she messaged me back at like 6 in the morning and I was very thankful.
Yep.
And we got her up to you in January, so.
And we, in that process, so many of you guys might have seen the first video that ever was released was through Ryan Rose. He's a great friend of mine, and he knew that you were coming. You had messaged him. You're on his Patreon as well. And he said, oh, can I film? I need a video. Can I film a video? I'll do the eval and then pitch it to your channel. So it's been good for us. It's really helped grow my channel with, you know, his support on that first video. And that kind of got us a feel out of where was she at and what were we into. And you know, she's been here since January and it's now August. And we've done, there was time in there where I was traveling and teaching clinics, so she just kind of was here and hung out. But we've kind of been through the ringer with her and had a lot of success. And a lot of it was time and patience. Some of it was pressure and, hey, we don't act that way, and do some of those behaviors. And with the appropriate balance of all of those things, she's a happy horse. She comes,
Yes.
I've been turning her out. She trots to me in the big open field to get, you know, haltered and led. So it's changed so much. And then for you to be able to come, like today, you did most all of it on your own. The only thing I did is, you know, lift the saddle for you because you're riding in my saddle. But to go from not being able to catch her in a 12 by 12 pen without danger of getting bit to riding her in the open and walk, track, canter, and doing all that, it's a lot.
Yeah, it gives me chills.
What do you think is one of the biggest things that you've learned over your experience of having this horse in training here, coming for lessons, and the whole experience? What do you think are some of the biggest takeaways for you?
So one of the major things that I am taking away is that I came to you because I was having trouble reading her. I felt like I was a good horse reader, but she proved me wrong, and you've walked me through that step of being slow and patient and not just petting and not just these jerky movements. So that was one big huge thing. And then when we started to get into the riding piece, you were showing me more of how to not have to ride so much with my reins, and it's made my riding a little bit easier and I'm not killing myself. So
Good.
that was
We had a good lesson on learning to release the horse to the turn versus pull the horse to turn, and how do we feel that out. That way make sure that the horse is choosing it and we're not just managing all the time.
Yes.
Good. What's your biggest fear taking her home?
Getting other people, as in my parents, to interact with her. So, but you've taught me well, so I can transfer that information. It's just getting them to read the cues, since I struggled in the beginning and I have more experience in horses. So it'll be good.
And that's a valid fear, and I think the biggest then suggestion that we can make on that is we did that here for a long time. It was me and only me that had anything to do with that horse. Even when you would come, it was like, nope, just leave her alone. And we built that bond, and it was reliant on one individual. There's a model: accept the human, accept the saddle, accept the rider, accept the bit. That's a colt starting model that gets taught. And in that process, to accept the human first as a friend, then as a leader. And sometimes it's not accept the human, it's accept the individual. She had to accept the Jake. Okay, then she learned to start to accept the Devan again. And you had already done a lot of that work, so she knew you and did have good interaction with you. But as she got more reliant on one person and one consistent thing, then we added two, and then we added Stephanie into the mix, and you know, Bray was here, and she could lead her and turn her loose in her pen after I'd worked her. So we had some slowly building that up, and it'll just be the same thing. And as you just are going to have to be the leader and let people know, hey, it's not just a normal horse. You don't just get to go canoodling on her. You have to be respectful of her boundaries with that and ease into it. And like you said, you know what to do now. It's just sticking to it.
Yes.
Good. All right. Anything you want to share with the YouTube world and everybody out there before we sign off?
It's just been a really great experience, and I have to say your followers have been very kind. I mean, reading through the comments, it makes me tear up, gives me chills, and you know, people aren't ugly, and I appreciate that. To let me go through this, learn, make mistakes, and have his support and his family's support. It's just touching. Because it's
people have been
huge.
really great, and the internet can be an ugly place, and the people that have been following this journey. You go from, you look, and it's well over 400,000 views on the video that Ryan did. The last few videos, it's just a couple thousand people that are seeing those. The numbers dwindle. People like to see the car wreck and the wreck in the beginning, but there's been plenty of people that have really seen this horse through the whole process, and it is really touching, moving, the kind words that they've had for support of us and you and this horse. So that is really awesome. So thank you guys for watching. Thanks for following along and supporting us and Devan. We'll be continuing to bring content of all the different horses that I get to travel and help. And over the winter, it looks like I'm going to hopefully have more help with holding the camera and doing stuff, so I'll be able to bring that much more content of all the different horses that we touch and do, because it's not just these one-offs with Remy. I do a lot of horses, and this is just a small look at the people that we get to help. So thank you guys for following along. Don't forget, like and subscribe. You want all the good juicy content, that's over on Patreon. We'd love to have you there. Lots of full-on series, and thanks for being here.
Yes, thank you.
Awesome. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.